Archaea, the legendary cradle of magic. Once, its people literally pulsed with arcane power. Then the magic vanished. Archaea's glory withered, leaving behind only a pathetic, fragile ghost of a kingdom. Cornered by rivals, the desperate nation gambled its survival on one last card. A political marriage. Enter our heroine's tragic fate. Inside the castle, a frantic blonde prince storms into the royal chambers. In total shock, he screams for the truth. Meet the frantic second prince, Xander Catterall. Distraught, he begs his sister to stop this madness. Baya, you can't be serious. Keep it down, growls the other blonde prince. Meanwhile, our stunning golden-haired lead sits perfectly still. She's a silent statue of grief and grace. The air is so thick with gloom. It's basically funereal. That stern guy standing there? That's Prince Dietrich, the kingdom's resident party pooper. He barks that it's none of Xander's business. But Xander isn't having any of this royal duty nonsense. This is pure insanity. How could Dietrich sell their sister to a monster like Canek Riordan? Bia's knuckles go white as she grips her dress. Xander's inner fire explodes as he confronts his brother. Do you hear the rumors? He roars. We're trading our sister for peace like some cheap commodity. She's being served as a plaything to a bloodthirsty tyrant who kills for sport. Talk about a red flag. Desperate and hurt, Xander demands a reason. How could you let this happen, Dietrich? Eusebia finally looks up, her face a mask of calm. Enough, commands our lead, Princess Eusebia Catterall. She's the heart of our story. But Baya... Xander whines, looking like a kicked puppy. With a gentle sigh, she drops a bombshell. This was my choice, Xander. I wanted this marriage. There's no debate, no plan B. She's taking one for the team and she's not looking back. Case closed. She tells him to focus on his own life while his eyes leak like faucets. He tries to protest through his sobs, but Baya promises she'd be fine. Sister of the Year award. Take care of father and listen to Dietrich, she instructs. Xander's world is basically falling apart. He collapses at her feet, weeping like a baby in her lap. The angst is real, folks. She strokes his hair, offering a final bittersweet comfort. Dietrich watches from the sidelines like a gargoyle. Finally, Dietrich speaks up, thanking her for the ultimate sacrifice. The kingdom owes you everything, Baya. She's basically Archaea's guardian angel now. Baya goes full serious mode, hearing his heavy words. Love? In a royal family? Unlikely. But being a human sacrifice for the nation. That's next level drama. She never thought she'd be the kingdom's literal SOS button. Time to put on a brave face. Duty before heartbreak. Fast forward to the wedding bells. Or should we say, wedding gloom. She faces the legendary Canek Riordan. The priest drops the big question. Do you take this man? I do, she whispers, squinting through her veil at her new hubby. This vibe is definitely not festive. Instead of joy, the room feels like a freezer. So, this is the Tyrant Emperor? Baya wonders. You may kiss the bride. Canek reaches out, lifting the veil like he's uncovering a hidden treasure. She flinches, hey, wouldn't you? Then she sees his face clearly for the first time. Oh no, he's hot. Close your eyes, he murmurs. Baya squeezes them shut as he leans in for the kill the kiss. What? It's awkward as heck, but Baya still turns beet red. And just like that, her fate is sealed. Super embarrassed, Baya touches her lips. Canek catches her in the act. Smooth, Baya, real smooth. Are you all right? He asks. She's too stunned to respond. There's no backing out now they've kissed. In front of God and everyone, she's officially taken. This scary guy is now her husband? Wedding over, time to move. Canek leads his army out with Bia's carriage trailing like a trophy. Inside the carriage, our girl is feeling all the feels. It's a lonely ride to her new life. Everything's moving too fast. Is she a bride or a high-end hostage? The doubt is creeping in. Wait, Riordan is a new empire. It makes sense the Emperor is too busy for romance, right? Maybe he's actually a diligent leader who puts work first? A total workaholic tyrant? Even so, those bloody butcher rumors are hard to ignore. She peeks out the window for a glimpse. Gazing at the knights, Baya spots Kanak. He's definitely a hunk with a god-tier aura. He radiates divine energy. One look and you know he demands respect from everyone. Unlike her, a sheltered princess with zero street cred, she feels totally outmatched. Baya recalls her Cathral bloodline. As Archaea's royals, they were blessed by legendary Arganwood. Every generation, an heir awakens to master primordial magic. Talk about a family flex! That power surges from the earth. The chosen guardian must shield the kingdom. Baya was supposed to be the one. Arganwood handpicked her as the guardian. With a self-deprecating smirk, she knows her magic is basically a weak glitch. She's a self-proclaimed failure. Since she can't fight, being a sacrificial bride is easier. Marrying to save her kingdom is her last resort. But can she handle being empress? She's already picturing the emperor getting bored and tossing her aside like trash. Feeling pathetic, Baya sighs. Suddenly, a mysterious hooded figure appears in the distance. Hidden in the trees, the stranger starts casting some shady dark energy. A flash catches Baya's eye. Suddenly, an arrow of darkness zooms straight for her. Boom! A massive crash echoes, and the whole convoy grinds to a halt. Kanak rushes back, eyes wide. He demands to know what happened to his party. The soldiers are shaking. Your Majesty, the Empress's carriage has been hit. Baya, is she okay? Kanak panics, sprinting toward the wreckage like a hero. Inside, Baya is dazed and stumbling. Her hand trembles, reaching for her chest. There it is, a dark arrow buried deep. Suddenly, her life flashes before her eyes. Before the wedding, Bia's crying to Dietrich. She really doesn't want this marriage. Marrying Kanak sounds like a nightmare. She begs her brother for another way. Another way, Dietrich looks heartbroken. Sis, it kills me to see you suffer. But he's got bad news. Archaea is basically on life support and dying. They're broke, and the army is fried. They can't stand against Riaman's power. The bank is empty, and no one is helping. He sees her tears. If only they had a legendary magic user to protect them. But no. We have to survive, Baya, no matter the cost. Talk about sibling guilt. After those heavy words from Dietrich, we're back to the grim present. Slumped on the floor with an arrow in her chest, she remembers everything. Her brother was right. If she had real guardian powers, everything would change. She could have actually been useful to Archaea instead of just a political pawn. Everything goes black. She hears screams and Kanak's desperate voice calling her. Baya snaps awake, totally confused. Didn't I just get turned into a pincushion? She hears Kanak sobbing. When she turns, she sees something totally impossible. He's cradling her limp body, crying and begging her to open her eyes. It's an out-of-body experience. She panics, seeing her dead body in his arms. The soldiers whisper she's gone. Kanak just pulls her closer, refusing to let go. It's all my fault, he whispers, hating himself for trusting those northern dogs. Rage takes over. He regrets playing along with their little political games. Ghost Baya is horrified. Kanak turns to his men and declares the alliance dead. He vows Archaea will pay in blood. Prepare for war. We're going home. Baya screams, no, stop. But she's a ghost. He can't hear her at all. Suddenly, a sharp pain rips through her soul, like her chest is tearing apart. Despair hits as she collapses. Her plan to save the world just went up in flames. Archaea's doom is sealed as Kanok's Iron Legion marched forth towards certain destruction. Dying in the dirt, Baya watches a shadow approach to touch her cooling blood. Poor thing, he sneers, dead before your own blood could even dry. Bia's spirit crawls toward Dietrich, desperate for her brother to finally see her. A mysterious figure emerges, whispering that their dark plan is finally coming together. The scheme is perfect, and His Highness must be absolutely thrilled with the results. Staring at his crimson palms, Dietrich lets a chilling, satisfied smirk cross his face. He declares his absolute joy at finally discarding that pesky nuisance of a sister. A nuisance, he calls her. Bia's soul shatters at her brother's cruel betrayal. Dietrich laments not being able to personally confirm her death and trample her corpse. The hooded man promises the arrow pierced her heart. There is zero survival chance. Bia watches in utter disbelief as her brother points a finger at the conspirator. He reminds the stranger that their blood-soaked bargain is far from being over. He traded his sister's life for the ultimate power to crush the kingdom Riadan. With a confident grin, the man assures the king that Archaea will soon triumph. Under King Dietrich, Archaea shall rise as a legendary empire spanning the entire world. A grand empire awaits. With those words, he walks toward Bia's lingering, invisible ghost. He muses that Bia's made blood would have been quite the useful little tool. A real waste, he sighs, passing straight through her shocked, ethereal form. Her mind screams, why? As she struggles to process this nightmare of family betrayal. Recalling their sweet childhood bonds, the spectral princess collapses in lonely, agonizing grief. Enveloped by the chilling silence of the crime scene, she is left with only despair. Just as promised, a brutal, heartless war soon set the entire continent ablaze. Trapped as a forest wraith, she is forced to watch her kingdom's slow suicide. A literal hell on earth unfolds before her, yet she remains utterly, painfully helpless. Years of torture pass as Dietrich uses her murder to fuel his bloody crusade. He rallies the northern lords under a banner of lies and fake royal outrage. But Canok is a beast on the battlefield, crushing Archaea's forces time after time. Archaea's lush beauty withers into ash and ruin as the meaningless slaughter continues. For 3 agonizing years, she watches her beloved people perish in this senseless war. Finally, the traitor king is dragged in chains before the mighty Emperor Canok. Unrepentant to the very last breath, Dietrich spits insults at his conqueror's feet. "Filthy slave!" He shrieks, cursing Canok even as his own bloodline ends in ruin. He vows that the Caterall ghosts will haunt Canok until his final dying day. Canok smirks, hoping Dietrich's delusions follow him all the way down to hell. "I'll enjoy killing you again in the afterlife," Canok declares with icy resolve. Fueled by pure hatred, his blade swings. A sickening slash echoes through the trees. Bia gasps in horror, her wide eyes witnessing the brutal end of her brother. A heavy thud signals the end. Canok stands tall, a grim silhouette of victory. With a crimson blade, he stands amidst the ruins of a broken, defeated Archaea. Broken by grief, Bia's ghost wails for the brother she once truly loved. Was his petty ambition worth losing his family and his entire kingdom for? Bia lets out a hollow, manic laugh, her eyes turning toward the heavens above. "Great Arganwood, hear my prayer. Grant me your divine power and ancient mercy. Take my soul, just give Archaea one more chance." She screams into the void. An emerald glow flickers to life nearby. Drowning in tears, Eusebia begs the deity Arganwood for help. She pleads for a redo to stop the coming nightmare. "My dear child," a divine voice whispers. The green radiance surges, turning into a blinding flash that swallows everything in its path. Her desperate cry is heard. The mysterious voice fades into a muffled, hazy echo. Bia blackouts. Next thing she knows, she's blinking her eyes open in a total daze. Her vision clears, revealing the worried, pint-sized faces of her father and little brother. They both let out a massive sigh, looking like they just won the lottery seeing her awake. Still buffering, Eusebia blinks as Xander tackles her in a hug while Dad beams with relief. "Wait, how?" she mutters. Cut to our girl sitting in bed with her tiny brother. "They're both so young." She stays quiet, trying to reboot her brain and process this insanity. Is this for real? She literally watched them die in the middle of a brutal war. Yet here they are, breathing and healthy. Eusebia turns her wide eyes toward her father, who is currently busy chatting with the royal doctor about her sudden fainting spell. Turns out, her new hair and eye colors are just side effects of her magical awakening. The doctor announces that her recent illness is proof that Eusebia is the chosen one. She's been officially tapped to be the guardian of Archaea. Talk about a heavy promotion. The catch: nobody knows her powers since the last guardian lived over 100 years ago. Suddenly, it clicks. Eusebia remembers her magic first sparked when she was just 10 years old. The realization hits her like a truck. This can only mean one thing: she's traveled back in time. Still shaking, she starts to tremble as the horrific memories of her past life flood back. Am I crazy? She wonders. Is her mind just cooking up a cruel, high-definition hallucination? Xander sees his sister shaking and immediately switches into protective brother mode, his voice dripping with love. He tells her he hates seeing her sick and wants to stay by her side forever. Seeing her brother act like his sweet old self, Eusebia reaches out to touch his face. His skin is warm and soft. She finally realizes this isn't some crazy vision. It's the real deal. Relieved, Baya sobs on Xander's shoulder, thanking Arganwood for actually listening to her desperate prayers. She squeezes him tight, leaving her dad and brother totally confused by her sudden emotional outburst. Deep down, she thanks the heavens for this second chance and vows never to waste it. This time, she'd protect her family at any cost. But she needs some serious power leveling first. Our heroine explains the lore of Arganwood, the legendary patron goddess of their kingdom. Once a human sister to the goddess Fair, she was reborn as a massive silver tree. That tree became her tomb, standing tall at the forest edge of the world. The people of Archaea built their lives around the sacred ground, worshipping the great tree. In exchange, the forest granted blessings, turning special people into legendary guardians. These heroes were Archaea's ultimate shield. Without them, the kingdom was on the verge of ruin. When Eusebia's powers first woke up, it was like a massive spark of hope for everyone. She was the kingdom's golden treasure until they realized her magic was kind of a letdown. Her mighty guardian power, just chatting with trees and flowers. Total Disney princess vibes. The trees were sweet, but Eusebia felt like a total failure as a legendary hero. Being kind doesn't stop an invasion, and the people of Archaea were definitely not impressed. Remembering how she watched her world burn before, Eusebia is determined to rewrite her fate. Arganwood wouldn't grant a second chance without giving her the power to change everything. Focusing her will, Eusebia channels every drop of her magic into a small flower vase. She pushes so hard that it starts to glow with an intense magical radiance. A tiny, shimmering sprout pops up, dancing with light as it grows right before her eyes. She's totally underwhelmed. She expected a guardian with way more oomph and power. In the silence, she wonders, why would Arganwood revive her without the actual power she needs? Her magic feels stronger, but is it enough to save Archaea? Probably not. A sudden knock breaks her thoughts. That familiar voice. It's a total jump scare. Trauma is a mood killer. Her body recoils as Dietrich leans against the doorframe. He strolls in, ignoring her obvious discomfort. Talk about an unwanted guest. He's all smiles, mentioning he heard about her magic awakening. Talk about fast news. He heard her awakening was a total pain fest. Suspicious much? Looking at him, she can almost hear his older, scarier self whispering. His sarcastic tone about death makes her hallucinate. Past and present are blurring. Adult Dietrich suddenly appears, his hand tightening around her neck with a cruel smirk. He mocks her death, so she instinctively slaps his hand away and shoves him. Back to reality. Younger Dietrich looks completely shook by her sudden outburst. Panic mode. She quickly apologizes, blaming it on still feeling a bit unwell. She hopes he'll take the hint, but Dietrich is clearly getting annoyed. Of course I understand, he says, grabbing her hands with fake sympathy. He wishes her a fast recovery, but every word feels like a total lie. Rule number 1, never trust this guy. She's seen his true, villainous colors. She tries to pull away, but he won't let go of her hands. He apologizes for bringing bad news while she's still so fragile. Bad news? Eusebia's heart sinks as she questions him with a worried voice. With a smug grin, he says people are already doubting Arganwood's wisdom. He notes that many are questioning the actual power of the new Princess Guardian. She tries to speak, but he cuts her off with a fake, "I don't believe the blasphemy." He calls her awakening a miracle, then adds cynically, "But you know the saying ... where there's smoke, there's fire." People just want to see her full power, he claims. Eusebia is speechless. How can he say that with a straight face? "Don't blame yourself," he interrupts. "Blame the people for expecting so much from a girl." That simple little girl comment is a direct flashback to her past life. She remembers being so hyped to tell him about her magic. She babbled about flower memories, totally excited to explore her new gifts. But he just gave her a cruel smile and brought up nasty rumors. He called her magic a cheap trick and said everyone was disappointed. "Hide that pathetic magic," he told her. "I'll be the one to protect you." She listened and hid her powers, which only fueled the public's anxiety. People wondered if she was even a guardian or just a walking curse. She trusted him blindly and ended up with a knife in her back. The memory of her death makes her dizzy. Suddenly, ghostly hands touch her. "Look at you, still so weak," a mocking voice whispers in her ear. Her past self wraps her in a suffocating, ghostly embrace. How could someone this weak protect Archaea? It sneers with pure disdain. "You can do nothing," it hisses. Eusebia panics, praying it's just a mental trick. "It's not real," she thinks, but the ghost insists she was never chosen. "No second chance for you. The goddess just wants to see you suffer." Terrified, she flails around, desperately trying to push her past self away. Bia's mind is in total denial, but Dietrich just watches her like she's a mystery. He's so confused. As the ghost vanishes, Eusebia finally catches her breath in relief. She claims she's fine, but then bam. Her past life ghost returns for a creepy hug. Shaken by the dark embrace, Bia stays strong. She's reaching Arganwood no matter what. It's time to uncover the truth and kick those nagging doubts to the curb. Is she a god's pawn or a woman of destiny? She makes a fierce promise. She'll solve the Arganwood mystery even if it's the very last thing she does. Suddenly, Bia is trekking through a blizzard with 2 worried guards in the north. At the world's edge, the guards beg her to turn back before they freeze. The storm's wild, but Bia's got that main character energy, clutching her red amulet. With the crimson gem glowing, she declares she isn't going back. Not a chance. Flashback? Bia is asking her dear old father for permission to enter the woods. Papa's stressed, so she explains her new awakened powers. "Duty is calling, Dad." She must see Arganwood, but Dad warns that only royals get a VIP pass. Kings only get one audience in a lifetime. Talk about an exclusive guest list. He remembers begging for the queen's life on sacred ground. It's such a tragedy. But the goddess was cold and ignored him. Arganwood's response was a total buzzkill. Reviving the dead is forbidden. The king was left with a broken, frozen heart. Recalling the biting cold, he touches her face, terrified his girl won't make it. He's spooked, but Bia's all smiles. "I'll be fine, Dad. I'll come home safe." She's the chosen princess of the bloodline, so the goddess won't hurt her. Hopefully. She's feeling brave, but she still needs a plan to save the entire kingdom. Seeing her resolve, the king starts digging through his coat for a special gift. He pulls out a red stone necklace. "Take this, Bia. It's your survival charm." It's a dwarven magic heater, perfect for keeping a princess toasty in a blizzard. It's the ultimate protection. Back to the present, Bia stares at her lucky charm. The gem's heat gives her the strength to keep walking through the freezing snow. She whispers a "thanks, Dad," promising not to lose her loved ones ever again. She changed their fate. Dropping to her knees, she touches the sacred, frozen ground. Her magic is weak, but her past life memories are totally maxed out right now. A magic circle glows. Bia's trying to slide into the forest's direct messages with style. She begs the trees for an audience with Arganwood. Come on, pick up. She asks to enter, and suddenly, the storm calms. Is that a divine yes? It's a sign, she tells the guards. Wait here. I'm going in solo. Be back soon. She vanishes into the woods. Inside, it's so cold her bones are practically shivering. It's brutal, but Bia marches on until a warm, glowing breeze gives her a hug. Arganwood greets her. The snow clears, revealing a massive, majestic silver tree in bloom. Back so soon? What do you want now? The goddess asks. Talk about attitude. Bia shocked? That's the same voice that sent her back through time. Deja vu. Bia plays it cool. So, why am I alive? And how do I save everyone? She's begging for a power-up. I'll be your humble servant. Just help me out. She offers to be the goddess's tool, but Arganwood is ready to drop a bomb. Girl, you're deluded, the goddess interrupts. Wow, talk about a total mood killer. Arganwood admits she's been watching, but she never actually answered Bia's desperate pleas. This VIP privilege is for kings only. Our girl just got left on read. Keep it quiet. Bia blushes, insisting that she and she alone definitely heard the Divine Lady's bossy voice. It was the same voice from her first life. She's positive the goddess granted her this spicy second chance. Go home, Eusebia. Your puny human shell will freeze solid in these icy woods, the goddess scolds. Even that dwarf trinket can't save you now. Run before you end up just like your late father. The goddess huffs. Whatever. Bia cries, striking a dramatic pose. I'd rather kick the bucket right here. ... than let my favorite people perish in a war I can't stop. She screams toward the heavens. The deity scolds her like a disappointed parent, while teary-eyed Eusebia glares at the looming Arganwood.